You're waiting at a red light late at night. The streets are empty. No police around, no cameras, no one to watch. You could drive through, and no one would know. And yet, most of us still wait. Why? Because whether we realize it or not, we're bound by an invisible agreement. Philosophers called it the social contract. It's not written on paper, but it shapes the way we live together every single day. Thinkers across history wrestled with this idea. Thomas Hobbes, writing in the chaos of England's Civil War in the 1600s, imagined life without rules or government as nasty, brutish, and short. In his view, we agree to give up some freedom to a higher authority in exchange for order and protection. A generation later, John Locke, reflecting on the aftermath of that turmoil, believed the contract exists to protect our natural rights, life, liberty, and property. And if rulers violate that trust, people have the right to resist. Moving further into the Enlightenment, Jean-Jacques Rousseau argued that true freedom comes not from doing whatever we want, but from living under rules we all agree to together as a community. With Rousseau, the social contract is no longer about surrendering to rulers, but about shaping our own destiny. Sovereignty belongs to the people, and laws carry weight only because we collectively give them life. Different voices, different emphases, but the thread is the same. Freedom and order are not opposites. They depend on each other. And that's where responsibility comes in. Rights are not gifts. They are secured by responsibilities. I respect your freedom of speech so that mine is secure. You follow the law not only because it restrains you, but because it protects everyone else. The contract is never one-sided. Break it, and both rights and trust begin to crumble. History reminds us of this truth. Great empires didn't just collapse from outside attack. Rome, for instance, eroded from within. As corruption, selfishness, and neglect of civic duty hollowed out the trust that once bound citizens together. The invisible contract was broken long before the walls were breached. But this isn't just about governments and empires. It's about us, about friendships, families, workplaces. Every relationship is its own kind of contract. We expect loyalty from friends, fairness from colleagues, love from family, but those rights only survive when matched by equal responsibilities. And yet, in our age of convenience, it's easy to forget this balance. We talk endlessly about our rights, but far less about our duties. We demand the benefits of society without always paying its costs, whether in taxes, in effort, or in simple respect for others. But the social contract only holds if both sides keep their end. So here's the deeper reflection. The world you want, freer, fairer, more humane, does not exist without your participation. Every time you respect a rule, keep a promise, or uphold someone else's rights, you reinforce the invisible fabric that makes freedom possible. The philosophers were right. We can't live well in isolation. Our lives are bound together by trust, and the strength of that trust depends not on what we demand from others, but on what we give. True freedom isn't found in breaking rules. It's found in keeping the right ones, the ones that allow us to live, not as strangers competing for survival, but as neighbors building a common life. Because in the end, the social contract isn't just a theory for governments or philosophers. It is the invisible promise we make to each other every single day. And when we honor it with honesty, with responsibility, with care, we don't just preserve society, we make it worth living in.